You are watching Mid-American Conference Football on ESPN. We welcome you to beautiful InfoCision Stadium, where today Akron is trying to get their first victory of the year, battling a team out of the NEC. Duquesne, a storied football program, trying to do something they've only done once in football history. That is slay an FBS football program. Welcome in. I'm Anthony Lima, joined alongside ESPN football analyst Craig Halbert. Craig, in talking to Duquesne all week, they think this is a game they could get.
Yeah, neither team is where they want to be in terms of wins, but the 2025 season and conference play is still ahead, so there's still the opportunity for big picture goals. And both programs have shown signs, positive signs, but if they're going to turn things around, it has to start today.
Absolutely. And the Dukes, they really think this could be the game their offense gets going.
Yeah, they're excited because this is a team with a lot of experience. On the opposite side of the ball, they've got Joey Isabella, an outstanding wide receiver, a great route runner. He had over 150 yards and a touchdown a week ago. On defense, that defensive line is where that experience is. Both D tackles are three-year captains. One of their defensive end, Jack Dunkley, led the conference in sacks a year ago. So that group up front could really be the place that causes trouble for Akron today. But for Akron, listen, they only lost by 3 points a week ago. There were certainly positives to build off of. Ben Finley at quarterback. This is a player who signed with NC State out of high school, also spent time at Cal. He has the ability and the playmakers to make this offensive go. And a week ago, on defense, they held UAB to no points in the second half. If you remember, Anthony, one of those scores also came on special teams. So this is a defense that feels like it's got the pieces to get it done and get a win.
And there is the head coach of Akron, Joe Moorhead. A little prickly this time of year, knowing they have squandered two opportunities, and they feel like they need to play much sounder football. And Jerry Schmidt, guy is a legend. It's funny to hear both coaches talk a lot of Yinzer talk this week. Two guys from Pittsburgh that understand that is one of the foundational football areas in the country.
Yeah, and Jerry Schmidt, I mean, he screams experience. He has been there for a long time. This is his 32nd year at Duquesne, either as a head coach or an assistant.
So Duquesne won the toss. They deferred to the second half, meaning Akron will touch the football first. And the kickoff from Matt Clark will drift into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and the Zips will start with the football. And Ben Finley, all eyes going to be on that fifth-year senior who has, like so many quarterbacks around the country in today's day and age, they have a lot of different experiences and a lot of different campuses.
Yeah, but he's been some experience now within this Akron program, leading the offense here in 2025. Had a good year a year ago, but he needs to find some consistency.
Out of the gun, you'll see a lot of that today. The give inside Patrick, and he'll roll over the defender and gets about 4 yards to kick off this football game.
Yeah, he's only completing 45% of his passes this year. What could help him is what they did right there, a nice first down run.
They will go tempo. Finley delivers to a wide open Miles Walker, falling down to make the grab and to move the chains.
You get that nice first down run, puts you in a second and medium, opens up that playbook, and protection was good. Allow Ben Finley to be able to step into that throw, see a nice pocket, and his receiver wide open.
Another first down carry, this time bottled up on the inside. The Dukes are there defensively. Kevin Kurzinger, among others, to make the play.
Yeah, right at the top, Anthony, we talked about the experience on that defensive line. He is one of 2 3-year captains and 3 captains on that team on the defensive line. You see how important that unit is to the entire program.
They will bunch the formation. Finley gets it out fast. Missed tackle Walker. Again, another near first down as the Zips. They seem to be operating at a tempo Joe Moorhead enjoys.
Yeah, it's all starting with the protection, as you mentioned, Anthony, getting it out quick and operating with a little bit of tempo. And it's going to be key. I talked about that defensive line. It's a strength. That's going to be the game within the game. We always talk about how important the trenches are. I think this Duquesne defensive line matches up well with Akron here in this 3rd and short.
Third downs have been a struggle And Michael Johnson hands it off to Jordan Gant. Explosive run to move the chains again.
You're right in terms of it's been a struggle. I mean, 132nd in the nation coming into this game. But what was different there? It was a 3rd and 1. That's manageable. That's something where you could certainly feel good about converting as they did. Coming into today, they've been in 3rd and 7 or plus 26 times this year.
So Finley back in and throwing again. Another first down. He'll scramble, directed traffic, caught. Israel Polk, room to roll, and he's finally brought down. They will blow the whistle, but they will mark him all the way down to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, they do a nice job picking up the pressure. He's got plenty of time, good coverage. And then Finley on the move there, doing something you're really not supposed to do, throw back across your body to the middle. But when you've got a weapon like Polk that wide open, you go ahead and do it.
7th time in the red zone this year. The Zips, Finley in the end zone, tightly contested and knocked away.
DJ Surisia doing a nice job there in coverage, just playing it. See him turn the head, go back and play the football. Outstanding job there by the redshirt sophomore on that Duke's defense.
We do have a flag on the play. Officials conferring.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense, number 1. Receiver was covered up. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Yeah, just kind of a formation situation where receiver was covered up and still went downfield. And what's the interesting things about Akron this year has been they really have not hurt themselves in penalties. They've actually been really good in that scenario here. This opening drive, moving the football downfield, get some momentum going now. Really just kind of a procedural penalty is going to push him back a little bit here. Put him at 1st and goal, but back to the 15.
They are 11th in the country, fewest penalties, 83 total penalty yards, but now 88 following the call. Finley, the strike gets picked off. Could not get it past the defender, and it's Jabari Odamenum who was right there in the middle of it all.
Yeah, you imagine right in the middle. You're going to see number 3 right in your screen. He drops. It's like Finley doesn't even see him as he's looking for Polk, who's going to go down. He's got the protection, and then the outstanding linebacker who was a transfer from Maine, the junior there, helping to thwart that Akron drive.
Very costly mistake because Akron was on the move. They ran into similar issues a week ago with a red zone interception.
What's interesting, you know, it's hard to say, but that penalty stops momentum, puts you back next play, you turn it over. Those little things sometimes can wind up playing a big role, but a great opportunity here for the Dukes.
So Tyler Riddell, the QB. And the run on first down, Sean Solomon Jr. looking for space.
Sean Solomon, player really needs to step up. They are without their top back, Taj Butts, number 0, a redshirt senior. He's the one who's kind of got the giddy up and go within that backfield in terms of acceleration, turning a play. Sean Solomon, kind of a bigger back, really good with the lateral agility and the vision. They're going to really need him to kind of put forth like a lunch pail effort today to keep that ground game in the mix.
Riddell out of the gun. The tight end in motion. Another handoff. And that play going absolutely nowhere. Ronald Hull coming in to make the stop.
Yeah, nice job there. The Dukes just trying to run a little bit of zone. Everybody there for Akron in their gap doing their job. As you mentioned, Ronald Hull, number 5. The linebacker, Marcus Boswell, also doing a nice job flowing.
Third and 5. Isabella in motion. You know, Akron looking for him on every snap. Riddell forced to roll out. Down the sidelines at a receiver, but it is just out of bounds. They were looking for Ryan Petrus. It was a decent throw, but a little too far outside.
You know, just as Isabella is going to break free, that pressure gets in there, led by number 1, and it forces Rydell to have to roll out, not be able to find a target he was looking for. That was Julian LaVentor there with that pressure up the middle.
And now excellent field position opportunity with Sean Patrick stationed at about the 40-yard line. Barely gets that punt off. Retrieved at the 40. A spin move, and Patrick is taken down at the 45-yard line. So far, through the first 2 possessions, we've had a turnover and a punt. The Zips, their second touch when we return.
You bring a bunch of guys in, and I think 40 of them are new out of the 85 on the team, and there's only so much that you can replicate throughout the course of spring ball and fall camp practice when a lot of those guys actually got here. But until you get in the game and see how they're going to react and how they're going to, their chemistry and things like that. And I think that's been a positive aspect of the first 3 games that we've seen a steady improvement throughout the course of 12 quarters.
Akron head coach Joe Moorhead. Look, nothing new. If you've been coaching over the last few years in college football, transfers, the portal, it is something that every coach has to contend with. 33 transfers that came in, obviously a boatload of freshmen as well, but this is why you get out some of the kinks early on in the season.
Yeah, obviously, as you mentioned, it's just kind of a byproduct of the transfer portal era.
Sean Patrick again, this time a run on first down. Akron had thrown it 4 different times on first.
But even with that, they do have a luxury that a lot of programs love to have, is having a quarterback with experience back to second year in the program with Finley.
Akron going quickly. Finley had all day, now flushed out. He's going to elect to run, and he waltzes out of bounds at the 50, make it the 49-yard line. Nothing doing down the field, though.
You mentioned, that was a lot of time, plenty of time. I think he could have probably completed a term paper back there. He was back there so long, and it's good because one of the problems early on has been that offensive line. If you watch them on film, they're rotating a lot of guys in, still trying to find that right fit. I think that group has underachieved at times, but off to a strong start here in the first quarter up front.
Finley drops back, 4-man rush, and that ball is thrown into the ground. Intended target, Israel Polk.
Yeah, they're getting the time there, but doing a nice job in the secondary is Duquesne, just not giving Finley any options. And after that really nice opening drive that was shut down by the interception here, they can't take the good field position as they just break into Duke's territory, but now have to bring the punt team out.
Well, it looked, too, like he was trying to motion for one of his intended targets to move to a different area. It looked to be a little bit of frustration before pounding that ball into the dirt. First punt of the game for Akron. And that ball takes a bounce at the 1. Did they secure it without it going into the end zone? And it is a touchback, so close, inches away. The Zips thought they had themselves a ball down at the 1. Instead, it'll come out. The Dukes have it again for the second time. We're scoreless here in Akron. The Zips have touched it twice. Meanwhile, Duquesne about to get it for the second time, and they are expecting, if everything goes well, yet another Duquesne playoff push, as they were number 2 in the NEC preseason poll. But last week, tough matchup against a 10th-ranked team in the FCS, Lehigh. Longtime coach Jerry Schmidt. You know, you can tell the coaches who have been at any program a long time, they're never gushing about their team earlier in the year.
He said it was the best camp they've ever had. He's like, this camp went so well. Mm-hmm. Those kids were so great. He was a little worried if they were going to be tough enough. That's how smooth camp went.
Riddell rolling out and fires it over to B.J. Alexander.
We talked how many years that he has been there. They're going to put Riddell on the move. But 32 years there at the school, even as an assistant, then 21 as a head coach. They've won that. They've shared it a year ago, made it to the playoffs 2 years ago. He's done a really nice job with this program and kind of building it up. And as you mentioned, Anthony, trying to get him back into the playoffs this year, the FCS playoffs.
Hopkins in motion instead to carry it. Akron not fooled at all. Brought down by Bruno Dahl.
Yeah, Roderick Hunter was the first one in there, number 13. The safety coming off the edge, got some penetration. Setting him up in his third down. We'll see if they get Riddell on the move. He's one of these players, does a really nice job watching him on film of changing arm angles. Kind of a bit of a gamer in the way that he plays. You always got to watch out, too, where number 5 is, Joey Isabella. Akron knows that as well.
The Zips have 4 first downs. Duke's looking for their first. Riddell will throw left side. Oh, yeah, Joey Isabella, but the ball sails over his hands. Incomplete. And it looked like he wanted a call.
Yeah, it looks like there was definitely some contact there. It looked like their feet were going to get matched up. Look, number 9. Branch. As they're running, they're both playing the ball, and there was just a little bit there. And as you mentioned too, even if I think there wasn't any contact, there was a little bit out of Isabella's reach.
Certainly looked like incidental contact as the legs got tangled towards the very end.
Have you ever seen a receiver not catch a ball and not want a penalty?
Well, a squandered opportunity. It's maybe a design fake. Not sure. Either way, it wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, we on the call this week, we actually specifically asked Jerry Smith. I just think he's looking to roll out and kick, and I think maybe he felt like he wasn't going to get a clean kick because there was really nowhere for him to run with the football. And we asked, should we be prepared? Should we be on our toes for any tricks on special teams? To try it there on that end of your field, Anthony, doesn't really make sense. I think the punter made a judgment call that he wasn't going to get it off and started to run.
And Jamari Somerville on the special teams unit making sure that had no chance whatsoever. So the Zips hoping to capitalize now once again in the red zone. Handoff. One man misses, and he dances to the end zone. Touchdown, Jordan Gant.
Last time they were in the red zone, Anthony, it led to an interception. This time they keep it on the ground, and Jordan Gant doing a nice job of making one defender miss. That was Dallas Harper, who came in, dropped his head. He was able to power through with his legs, and Gant, who's a fun player to watch on film because of what he does without the football, an outstanding blocker in pass protection, showing what he can do when he gets his hands on the football as well. And a touchdown tire. Turnover tire, touchdown tire.
Only here in Akron. One play, 17 yards, and a touchdown in just 7 seconds. There is a flag on the attempt. Billy Williams, our head referee, will weigh in.
Illegal formation on the defense lining up over the center. That penalty's decline. Result of the play was a good try.
All right, so there it is, 7-0 the Zips. Yeah, it's hot enough. Might as well have your shirt off. It's September, feels like July, and the Zips, a 7-0 lead. So the Zips have gotten on the board first here at Akron, capitalizing after the punt was a disaster. And quick strike, one play, 17 yards. Jordan Gant running into the end zone with ease after he made a man miss. 7 seconds. Akron's been doing everything fast today, running their tempo offense. And now they have themselves a lead.
Well, what's interesting is a week ago in that loss to UAB, special teams loomed large, as you could point to that, giving up a return for a touchdown as one of those factors that led to them losing by 3. Here early this week, Anthony, a special teams miscue by their opponent helps get the Zips on the board.
Owen Wiley kicking that ball off, fielded inside the end zone, brought out. Ryan Petrus had an alley, but he is brought down in a hurry at the 22-yard line. That's Somerville again making another special teams play. As we said, the Dukes seeking to get that first win over an FBS foe since 2021. That was over Ohio University. And Akron still looking to get off the schneid. And we've seen some glimpses, some explosive offensive plays already.
They got to find ways. Obviously, Isabella is such a key part of this offense. They got to get some other receivers involved.
Riddell had time in the pocket, launches one down the field, but way too much air under that football. Jermaine Johnson was the intended target.
Johnson's the vertical stretcher for this offense here, and they tried to do it. Coverage was there as he tried to break back into the middle of the field on that post route. Got caught up with the defender. So on first down, taking that shot, now putting him in second. Second and long here. See if they put Rydell a little bit on the move.
It's a handoff, patient run, that time by Ness Davis. He spun around and dropped. Flowers in on the play.
Yeah, Ness Davis, a redshirt sophomore. He's new to the system. And a guy who's going to need to step up today with Taj Butts not available. Getting, as you mentioned, a little bit of patience there, but still putting him behind the chains here on third down. Right where number 5 is, but they've got safety help right over the top. Isabella is to Rydell's left, right on the hash, Anthony, and they got 2 lined up over him, so they're going to take him out of the mix on third down.
Riddell, pocket collapsing, and he is dropped. A big-time sack. Akron sent another man. Ben Kamara, the corner, got all the way to the QB.
They're bringing 5. You watch number 14 come off on a delayed blitz, and there was a seam open for him, and Kamara is able to get to Rydell and bring him down. Talked about that defense pitching a shutout in the second half a week ago, coming out strong here in this game.
Kamara getting his first start. He'd been banged up with an ankle injury. Coaches felt that he was going to be healthy. This time the Dukes do get the punt off. As you can bet, their coaching staff relieved at least, and it took a big-time Dukes bounce before it's down at the Akron 39-yard line.
And special teams here, we go back to where it really started things off for Akron, looking like they were going to try to get a punt. Then off of that punt, Akron wasted no time, put it right on the ground, got it to their running back, Jordan Gant, number 22, who punched it in. That would give them the lead. Now their defense forcing a successful punt, giving this offense see what they could do here following after that touchdown.
Went 44 yards on the punt, a vast improvement from punt to punt.
At least making Akron have to start on their side of the field, not within your own red zone.
And boy, Akron going to be looking to pounce already with the 1 possession lead here in the first quarter. They played 2 airtight games, but sandwiched in between that the rout in Lincoln, where they were just completely outmatched.
I didn't even really watch that film. I kind of took it out of the mix getting ready for this game. It just focused on last week in Wyoming.
I imagine Joe Moorhead thought similarly.
Get in there, Ace.
Handoff on first down. Patrick is shoved forward. Late flag coming on in. Helmet dislodged as well.
Might lead you to believe a hand to the face somewhere. A penalty, whether there's a helmet laying on the floor. We'll see. See if that is a
Personal foul. Illegal hands to the face. Offense, number 57. 15-yard penalty for the previous spot. Remains first down.
Delvin Morris.
Defensive player whose helmet came off does not have to go out for a play due to the foul being a helmet.
All right, so that's a costly penalty on first down for a team that coming in today only 83 penalty yards the entire season.
second one today. First time they got a penalty. Next play they threw an interception. We'll see how they react coming off this penalty. It's going to really push them back. Again, staying in third and manageables is so crucial. They've been in a lot of third and longs this year, have struggled now, putting themselves way behind the chains here on first down. See if they try to get maybe some of this back with a screen or a draw.
Looking to throw, pump fake, and nearly picked off. Fortunately, Jake Newell got his hand on that football and squirted it out, or it could have been another costly interception.
Yeah, they're going to try to go just to the wide receiver screen out on the edge, and Finley hesitated for a second and allowed the defender, number 0, T.J. Jones, to step in front of it, and a missed opportunity for that Duke's defense. And Finley has been pretty good. He had that interception here early in the first quarter, only one other one, but there were a few in that UAB game that were very close. He, in that first half alone, could have had 3 interceptions. Dodging another bullet there here, but still putting him way back here now on second down.
Just seemed like after the fake, the timing was off. And this time, they'll hand it off. Patrick, not much doing there at all as Ish Finlater brought him down.
Brought down by Finlater.
Yeah, coming in today, 55% of their third down were 3rd and 7 or plus. They're back there today. This offensive line has played really well early on at pass protection. This is an opportunity for that Duke's defense to try to pin their ears back, only bringing 4.
3rd and 20, trips to the right. And that one incomplete. Kyan Mason had some room. The 5'9" redshirt freshman out of St. Ed's up the road in Cleveland. He had some room to run.
Yeah, number 97, one of those 3-year captains on that defensive front, Kevin Kurzinger, was able to kind of get in there, rush that throw a little bit.
All right, so a name we haven't called out much today, Joey Isabella. He, this time, gets to stand all the way back to the 25-yard line and await a punt. Joseph Castle boots it all the way back to the 18-yard line. Fair catch signal from Isabella. And Akron, the penalty, devastating to that drive. The punt was 44 yards, no return.
Yeah, nice job there. Obviously aided by the penalty. Duke's defense made sure they did their job, got off the field. Now, can this offense find some rhythm? Again, they're without a key piece in the backfield without Taj Butts, but they've got other pieces. They tried to take a shot to Jermaine Johnson, number 1, on their last drive. They really haven't been able to get number 5 involved. A lot of that has to do with Akron knowing how key he is. He's tight to the formation a lot of times when he is here. There'll be some type of a sweep or a screen. See if they try to create ways to get Isabella the ball.
They have just 5 yards of total offense. Handed off on first down, and Shaman Cooper makes the tackle.
They're keeping on the ground with the junior, a local there grew up there in Pittsburgh. Gonna really need to shoulder the load within that ground game today.
Duke still looking for their first down of the day. Clock ticking, 4:40. Here to go in the first quarter. Isabella in motion. Rolling out quickly to the right and brought down. Garrett Harold, the tight end, was tripped up.
Using Isabella there as a distraction, bringing him across, and then just putting a tight end out in the flat. And what's most important, though, it gets him in a 3rd and manageable here, 3rd and short. They're going to have 6 O-linemen out there. They just brought in another O-lineman.
They are going heavy, and the Zips readjust. Again, Isabella in motion, and they don't get it off. Flag on the play. Looked to be a little confusion.
Full start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
And they had it at 3rd and 2 as manageable as they probably were hoping for, but instead they got to go backwards.
Yeah, you know, as I mentioned, they brought in a 6th O-lineman. They actually had Akron, a little bit in terms of being out of sorts because they were trying to catch up with the substitution, and really looked like the Dukes put themselves in a good position there and actually wound up getting the penalty on themselves and taking away the positive yardage picked up by the tight end on the previous play, now back in the 3rd and long.
They probably saw they had a numbers edge, rushed it a little bit. So now they'll throw. And Akron was all over it, waiting on the throw to B.J. Alexander.
Ben Kamara back in there. He's called his name a few times here early. Anthony has mentioned he's been healthy now. They were excited to get him back in the mix, and he's showing why.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense, number 11. That pill is declined. Result of the play, 4th down.
All right, no brainer there to decline it. So, boy, Duquesne, it has been a rough go at it. First 3 possessions, nary a first down.
Yeah, you know, listen, in a game like this, your offense needs a spark. Your special teams has kind of let you down early on with that punt miscue that allowed Akron to play later to the score. You need your defense. They had it with T.J. Jones on that previous drive. He stepped in front of a pass but dropped it. They're going to need their defense to step up, make a play, help spark their offense.
Patrick waiting for it at the 36, has room to run, breaks the tackle, and then he's hit and brings it out all the way to the 47-yard line. And so the Zips will get excellent field position once again following the good return. But looks like there's another flag on the play. And might this one be coming back?
Holding number 20 of the receiving team during the return. That 10-yard play be forced from the end of the run. 1st down.
So Mekhi Flowers assessed with the hold. Joe Moorhead, not a fan, as you could imagine. And those penalty yards already, first quarter, adding up.
Let me ask you, do you at all feel any responsibility? Because we put together a graphic on how great they were on penalties. Only had 1, and now here in the first quarter they got 3.
It's one of the things I didn't even want to talk to Coach about this week, because we know how superstitious coaches can be. And anytime when the media wants to try to provoke an answer, you know they don't necessarily like that. They'll start at their own 42. Finley, he leans into that ball deep down the field. He had his receiver, but incomplete. Israel Polk had a 75-yarder last week. They were going for it all on that first down.
Yeah, Polk, he's turning into their big play target, trying to break in just a little bit out in front of him, and Polk, right through his hands. That was probably a little bit tougher than it needed to be for a clean pocket to be able to make that catch, but I'm sure Polk is going to go back and see that and say, I should have had it.
2nd and 10. Finley, the design draw, and he will take on a defender and get past midfield. Looked like he was looking for contact.
Yeah, it's one of the things with Finley is that, you know, I was surprised watching him. He's a lot more mobile than you would think. He has kind of that pocket passer look, but he runs really well.
So 3rd and 1.
Michael Johnson Jr. in at quarterback, a well-traveled QB. wouldn't be surprised to see him, Anthony, keep it. He's kind of really more their running quarterback.
And he does. Breaks through the line of scrimmage and gets more for a first down. Boy, Coach this week talked about him in the role that previously Taj Bullock had filled, and it feels like they think Johnson picked up where he left off.
Yeah, just a design QB draw. Michael Johnson, he's the son of his coach. His dad's an assistant at Syracuse. He's been around, and he's a big quarterback. But you see Finley there. See that glove on that left hand? That's his non-throwing hand, but it's a little bit banged up too. We'll have to watch out when he runs.
He'll throw, has a receiver breaking open and then bobbled out of bounds. Israel Polk had it.
They're going to count it as
and
a
they
catch.
are absolutely going to say it's a catch.
He's got it. He's caught it. He's tucked it. That was pretty quick.
Is a catch and fumble by the offense. First down.
See if they're going to take another look at that.
Now, you know Akron wants to get right up to the line of scrimmage, but
Timeout. Duquesne, they're first. Be 30 seconds and left.
Now, I'm with you, Anthony. In real time, it looked like he maybe took a step, made a move, but watching that replay, that was pretty bang, bang. I'm not so sure. I'm not at all surprised that they're taking a closer look at this.
well, they will likely look at it in the review booth. Again, we'll take a look. It was ruled a completion on the field.
He definitely gets it tucked away. Does he take a step with it? He's going to get his hands on it. Watch that right hand. He starts to tuck it away, and then just as he does, it gets knocked out by Antonio Epps.
These are so tough. So he's, almost rotating that ball around his body, and in doing so, he brought it to the hands of Antonio Epps, one of the captains on that defense, and he's able to punch it through.
Getting it tucked and just taking a step, I think we're going to land in the upheld category.
Yeah. I concur. I think it stands, and it looks like it's business as usual. So, big pass play, and now they're in the red zone again, down to the 17. Third time they've been in the red zone. Finley dropping that one into the end zone, knocked away at the last second. Incredible defensive play by DJ Cerise.
Yeah, just good instincts here. Cerise is going to have his back to it. He sees the receiver put his hands out. He just goes in and swipes it out. That's two nice breakups today for the redshirt sophomore corner. Good job not panicking, playing the receiver. See the receiver bring his hands up. He went out and just swiped him down.
He had two breakups last week, so he's been able to follow it up with some tight coverage as they were looking for big tight end Jake Newell. Finley looking into the end zone, steps up and complete down to the 8-yard line. Miles Walker.
Nice job by Walker kind of getting underneath that. Finley over on the move, a little bit low, but Walker doing a nice job getting down there, getting it. His coverage was good, setting him up here in a much more manageable third.
So Finley departs, and back in Michael Johnson Jr., who coach says he can throw, and they'll have him swing one to the outside, and it is a live football right now. They have not blown it dead. Gant gets all the way to the end zone. Half the players stopped. I didn't hear a whistle, and Akron played on.
Yeah, they certainly did. Now they'll take a look at whether this was, it looked like a forward pass. I think the official's probably just playing it smart.
And you just heard the official, after all of that, say, you know what, we got the quick review.
I get it. Be safe than sorry. You could always kind of bring it back then if it was backward pass. But the problem is now the Gant looks a little bit banged up off of that.
So this comes up all the time with fans. Let them play. Let them continue on. What's the worst thing that can happen? And then you see Gant's a little banged up after that Herculean effort to get all the way to the end zone. So 26-yard field goal attempt, Owen Wiley near the left hash. And he calmly kicks it through the upright. So after we had a little bit of fireworks on the drive, some confusion, it ends with the Akron field goal. Wiley connects and a 10-0 Akron Zip lead. 41 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
Talked about Duquesne really not finding any rhythm on offense, but Akron really hasn't settled in. They had that nice opening drive that kind of got stalled with the penalty and obviously the interception. But since that opening drive, they really haven't found a rhythm yet offensively either. Off of that special teams miscue by the Dukes, able to get 7 on the board. And making some plays there to at least get in field goal range and extend their lead.
The Dukes are going to be desperate for any kind of an explosive play. They can certainly use one on special teams. Wiley boots that football with his right foot. Perfect location. Although they down it.
Fair catch signal was given.
It's one of those where apparently there was a
reception. First down.
There was a fair catch signal, despite the fact he tried to run it out.
Please set 41 seconds on the game clock.
So far, we've obviously seen a pretty hefty gap between the two offenses. Maybe Duquesne might actually feel fortunate they're only down 10-0, but they had an opportunity if they're able to hold on to one of those Finley throws.
They don't mess up that punt. They may only be down by 3. But yeah, they've got it. Could just maybe be potentially another special teams miscue that's got them pushed back inside their own 5-yard line here. For an offense that's kind of been struggling to get going. I think, when you are struggling, you got to find ways. You see him right in the middle of the huddle, number 5. You got to find a way, whether it's maybe a jet sweep, some type of a quick screen, get the ball in your best player's hands. Maybe hope that he can kind of ignite things going here a little bit, but you got to be careful now. Backed up inside your own 5 as well.
I mean, it's disastrous to, put out a signal. That's what the officials saw, especially when you see these numbers. You're already up against it, 144-3, no first downs in the game, and now your special teams let you down again. All right, run up the middle, and finally some daylight for the running back there, Sean Solomon Jr.
Yeah, good little hesitation there again, bringing Isabella across the formation in motion. A little bit of a seam. Good job there on the left side of that offensive line by the Dukes. And just giving a little breathing room. Now you're not lining up in your own end zone.
I think we knew in talking to both coaches this week, the key to Duquesne's offense is obvious. It's number 5, Joey Isabella, and hasn't really been able to put his imprint on this game. And we will switch sides on the field. The first quarter has come to a close. Akron Zip still looking for that first win. Duquesne's looking for that first down. It's 10-0. Second quarter is up next.
Akron is leading 10-0 as we begin the second quarter, and a big reason why they are in the lead is their defense. They've been off to a really strong start there, stuffing the run, getting pressure up the middle, getting the quarterback off the spot. And then number 14, Ben Kamara, coming in on a blitz from the corner position and getting the sack. Anthony, the Zips defense really with a strong first quarter that has really not allowed that Duke offense to get any type of momentum or forward progress going.
Well, it's because of that Akron's gotten away with one definite miscue and another almost miscue, and even a few penalties that have marched them back. But their defense has been so dominant through the early stages of this game, one quarter in, that the Dukes are just looking for some breathing room. Look at it, bounce to the outside. And upended at the 15-yard line. Solomon thought he had a chance for more.
Nice job here by Solomon. He's going to bounce it. Good job. See the patience. He presses the middle, then bounces it out to the left. There was a lot of green there. As you said, maybe he was looking for a little bit more, but you know what? It was enough to move the chains for a drive where they were starting with their heels in the end zone. Now got a little bit of breathing room.
Malcolm DeWalt, the fourth, coming up to make the play. But it was enough for a first down. Now they come out throwing, and that pass incomplete. You could see Kyron Boyd wanted to run before he caught that ball and secured it.
Yeah, in his mind, he was already 5 yards downfield before he had made that catch there. Missed opportunity for a little bit of positive yardage. We've kind of talked about it. I don't want to kind of continue to beat this drum, but here we're in the second quarter. I don't think Isabella has any touches at all yet.
This time, Jermaine Johnson in motion. Quick throw over the middle, deflected, and that was the opportunity. Thrown a little behind Isabella, and then got a little tenuous with the deflection.
Yeah, just tried to mention, talked about, got to find ways to get him involved. He's there on the screen, and I don't think, just right through his hands. That's one you got to have, and one that Isabella usually makes. And when you're a playmaker and you find ways to get the ball, you got to deliver there. Now in a 3rd and long, and we'll see if that Akron defense continue to dial up some pressure.
Third and 10. The throw across the field, broken up, but a flag is thrown late. Elijah Reed was in coverage. Riddell, that was a long way to throw that ball all the way to the other side line.
Pass interference. Defense, number 11. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
Reed, the Kentucky transfer, gets penalized.
You mentioned throwing from that far hash, and Reed, and he gets there early. Yeah, I mean, he had a little bit of ground to make up and kind of went in there like a wrecking ball and got there early. And a big break there here for this Duke's offense. Remembered, Riddell started this drive, and he was standing in the end zone. At least out they're out past our 20.
High snap, and then some trouble with the exchange. Despite all of that, they were able to get some positive yardage.
Riddell just put his hand on Solomon's back and said, just block, go. The sit and go as we had planned there. A little bit miscommunication. He says, you know what, I'm going to keep it, you block, see what we can get. That's what I think you would call in the entertainment world improv.
I wish I had those skills. 2nd and 7. Throwing again. This time, looking up the field, another flag. That time, Isabella tried to come down with it, and Alex Branch was all over him.
Yeah, you can kind of see that penalty coming. Branch really aggressive in coverage there.
Pass interference. Defense, number 3. Ball will be placed in the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
All right, so they've moved the chains 3 times now on this possession after failing to get a first all game.
Yeah, he's going to be looking. You see right there. You don't see much there. I'll tell you what, in live action, it looked like there was certainly a lot of shoving. I kind of saw what the officials saw in the moment. I'm not going to question that flag.
To the 39, another high snap. Backpedaling as he throws it. Riddell. Jump ball is picked off. Elijah Reed. And he gets smacked down to the ground. Took a shot, but he held on to it. And you're about to see the turnover tire. Reed letting him know about that play.
Well, he said, I'll see your penalty and I'll raise you an interception there. There it is, the turnover tire. I wonder if there's a difference between a turnover tire and a TD tire. Either one, they got a lot of tread on that tire, and the defense coming up with a big play. Elijah Reed with the interception, getting the Akron Zips the offense, the football back as they lead 10-0.
Zips with a 10-0 lead, and they got the football back. Bit of a wild drive, and what you see there, Craig, on the throw that led to the INT.
Yeah, number 41, Bruno Dahl, was coming off the edge to Rydell's right. He just didn't step in to throw. I think he saw Dahl out of the corner of his eye and kind of threw that as he was falling back, and it floated up there. And Elijah Reed high pointed the football. He took a hit, but you know what? Sometimes you got to pay a little bit if you're going to get a taste of the turnover tire. And he does it.
It's got to feel good after you got a pass interference call to come back, pick the QB off, and the Zips running the ball on first down as they are approaching midfield already. Sean Patrick on the carry. Played his high school football right up the road in Northeast Ohio at Kenston High School in Chagrin Falls.
Yeah, coming off a career high 81 yards a week ago.
Finley, time to set. He's got his man. It's caught. First down and more. It's Patrick. He's running it, and he's catching the ball in the backfield.
Yeah, this offense giving Finley plenty of time, able to go through his progressions. He's got his running back screaming down the side, wide open.
Patrick again sees parting up the middle, spinning his way towards another Akron Zip first down.
Yeah, Patrick, he's putting his fingerprints all over this drive, and a little bit of a counter look there.
Finley, seam throw up the middle, touchdown Akron Zips.
Finley's pass complete.
Beautiful throw and catch as Kyan Mason Mason has the score.
Yeah, it was Patrick that time. They went with the play action, and Mason wide open there. An excellent route. Nice job there for Akron. Coming off that interception, sudden change defense. Not able to stand up as the Zips offensively take advantage off of the turnover by Reed and quickly score.
That's the type of drive Joe Moorhead dreams about at night, and they're getting their distance after playing a couple close games this year. They want to pour it on. 17-zip. Akron on top here in the second quarter. Zips coming through big after the turnover. Now they find themselves up 17-0 after the four-play 56-yard drive. They have been moving with a purpose offensively today.
Yeah, that was a sharp-looking drive there, kind of powered by three nice plays by the running back, number 13, Sean Patrick, and then finished it off with the play action to Patrick and number 3, Mason on the slant. Taking advantage of the turnover, that's what you need to do. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of football to still be played, but it kind of feels like at some point this Duke's offense is going to need to kind of find its rhythm. That last drive, even before the turnover ended it, I mean, it was really pass interference calls that helped kind of move it.
Yeah, Duquesne, 19 yards of total offense. Meanwhile, or plays from scrimmage, I should say, Akron already 200 yards. As Owen Wiley getting ready to send one the other way. That one deep into the end zone for the touchback. So it just seems to been a challenge just to really get out of the blocks for this Duke's offense. Not able to find much of a rhythm at all.
Yeah, you see the disparity there in yards, and it's been it's hard to put your finger on one thing. A little bit of protection. That last throw, interception, was on Riddell, just not stepping into it. We've talked a lot about getting Joey Isabella involved, but then he had a drop on that previous drive. So the moral of the story is somebody within that offense needs to step up and make a play, start to kind of be the, what's the word I'm looking for, the gasoline on the fire?
Yeah,
spark.
They could use a spark right now. Big time, but not going to get it on first down at all. QB is dropped, and once again, Bruno Dahl comes in.
Yeah, Bruno Dahl out of Germany. He was the one who got the quarterback hurry on the last one, and this one he comes in and just any little bit of hesitation by Rydell, and the big man, originally from Germany, finished his senior year in the state of Mississippi, and he's really starting to develop into a player. Had a 1.5 sacks a week ago. Now a sack and a QB hurry that resulted in interception in the last 2 offensive snaps for Duquesne.
Well, they are picking up where they left off, and that's second half on the road at UAB. This time that throw is picked off. Pick 6. Malcolm DeWalt, the 4th, is in the end zone with the touchdown. He was waiting for it.
Rydell, he's going to try to throw a long way from that far hash, and DeWalt just reads it, steps right in front of it. Nice job, because initially he did not have that. It bounced off him. The good concentration to stay with it, bring it in a second time, and then take it all the way for the score. So now that defense in 2 successive drives, once creating a turnover that the offense would turn over to points, and this one, DeWalt saying, offense, stay on the sideline. I got it. Taking it in himself.
Boy, what a bounce-back performance all the way around. They had a week to think about the tough outcome in a game they certainly thought they could win down at UAB, and they've come back with a vengeance. They've done it on offense, and now the pick 6 on defense. It's all zip. All Akron Zips 24-0. Reminding you that you can get all of ESPN College Football all in one place with the all-new ESPN app. It is amazing. I'm locked in. You've got to get involved. Unlock with the ESPN Unlimited plan or log in with your TV provider to see so much of the great college football across the land, and then everything else. One place to get it on the all-new ESPN app. Plenty to dance, plenty to sing about here at InfoCision. Some costly mistakes by the Dukes on special teams, and on that last possession offensively, we got a touchback for the Dukes. So maybe that's one thing they have going for them. They're not pinned back deep in their own territory.
It's a way to be a glass half full guy. See how they respond now, because 2 interceptions in a row for Rydell. See if they say let him try to shake it off here. He's been a well-traveled quarterback. I mean, this is his 7th year in college football. He's going to need to have a short memory. They're going to still need him to make some plays.
You just wonder what's happened to the playbook when, you're down 24, but they've had so much difficulty pinpointing some of these throws. So they run the ball on first.
Yeah, it's not shocking at all. Maybe let him settle down a little bit. I think this drive, points or not, you're just trying to kind of settle everything down a little.
Second down, and Isabella in motion, and another flag. Right now, the Dukes can't get out of their own way.
Flag on the flag.
Illegal snap. 57 offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
So the center, Cameron McLaurin, one of the captains. This offensive line we talked about to start today, experience on that O-line. You've got a combination of seniors and grads.
Players who, many of the starters back from a year ago. So, yeah, it's a penalty they don't need by an experienced player.
Another handoff, trying to stretch it out, Solomon, but right now the zips are everywhere.
Yeah, that was beautifully defended there by Akron defensively, just trying to run the zone. Just watch, just gold helmets everywhere. There's no seams, nowhere for Solomon to go. Yeah, that defense is kind of feeling themselves right now. After creating 2 turnovers, they're flying around, they're playing some ball, they're having some fun.
3rd and 15. Not a desirable spot for the Dukes offense. Riddell, that pocket collapsing, running to the outside. He was chased, and he floats that one out of bounds. He was in all sorts of danger once again.
Yeah, and that time Akron only brought 4. Riddell's still on the move. Defense forcing the punt. Akron just playing outstanding defensively. Really take away those 2 pass interference calls 2 drives ago, and really that unit has just been outstanding within this first half.
Only 1 first down. Otherwise, they've given up. They do get the punt off, and fair catch signal there at the 46. But it's been all Akron.
Akron is just working it in all areas, all phases of the game. Here, special teams are able to get a turnover. They would quickly turn that into a rushing touchdown here. Off of a turnover, hitting the receiver Mason on a slant, and then the defense would chip in as well. Couple interception, this one, DeWalt with the pick 6. And for a team that's starting out 0-3, trying to find something to go, hey, you get a pick 6, you get 2 tires.
2 tires.
There you go. I'm starting to learn the math here, the tire math.
You get 2 of those. That turns into a massive expense. These days, another nice run, that time on first down. Jordan Gann having his way.
You got to figure, though, you got a tire guy here, right? You get a discount.
This is the place.
But, I mean, Akron really all 3 phases just playing well, and special teams, defense, and now offense here starting to move the ball.
The Dukes have got to be exhausted right now defensively. Finley had his man wide open over the middle, Marcel Williams, but incomplete. Would have been another big-time game.
We'll say this, too, kind of the unsung MVP here early on to me has been the offensive line, because you watch those first 3 games, that unit struggled at times. At times, I thought we were just kind of really downright not very good. Here in this first half, that offensive line has really responded, especially in pass pro, looking like a much different unit than it did the first 3 weeks.
(9-12) And another big play on the run. Can he get to the end zone? Gann is brought down inside the 10-yard line.
Here, just going to bounce it. You see that big scrum right in the middle. Gann sees it, takes it to the outside. Another big gain. Gann, who had a rushing touchdown. Good to see him running around. We saw him a little bit early getting checked out on the sideline. And the redshirt junior, the big gain there. Already got one touchdown on the board. Again, you watch him on film. He's a tough player as well. Outstanding in pass protection as a running back. Getting it done with and without the ball.
This time the carry, bouncing his way into the end zone, capping off the drive. It's another Gann touchdown run. It is too easy for the Akron Zips.
A little bit of hesitation there by Gann allows things to open up in that left A gap, and then he takes it. So run previous, he bounces it, that one right between the tackles, just enough patience and hesitation. Let the seam develop, and then he exploits it, takes it in, and on the hunt for the TD tire.
Boy, we talked about clicking on all cylinders at the start of this drive. Duquesne just has absolutely no answers.
It's right now it's feeling like Akron's got the answer key. They are clicking on all cylinders, and that one taking it right up the middle. Gann, his second one of the day.
Yeah, it's tough right now for the Dukes, obviously, because, you know, they felt like they could be really competitive today, but you don't want to lose sight that it's not like if things go awry for you here in Akron, it's not that your season's over. You're getting into conference play in the NEC, where they figure to be one of those teams that by the end of the season, they will have a shot at winning this conference. It's just today they have run into a buzzsaw.
Yeah, you know, listen, I think for Duquesne, you know, one of the things Coach Schmidt said is that, you know, listen, they take on these FBS challenges 2 a year, great opportunities for his players, but he also said they want to be consistently competitive is the goal. And I think today they've just kind of really struggled. And I think they, Anthony, they hit an Akron team that's kind of hungry to get back on track again. There was a lot of buzz around this program, the way they finished the 2024 season with 2 wins, and then just kind of really just struggling out the gate, but look like they're finding their footing here.
We said it to Akron at the end of last year. They get those late wins, and it's one of those things where, you know, the real football guys that are out there following this stuff, they start to see Akron put a few wins together for a program that has been in just stuck in mud for so many years, and that's why there was legitimate excitement. But then what happens? The transfer portal, and now you have a head coach and coaching staff that have to sift through that again, so it's tough. We talk so much about building a culture in college football, but we're dealing with an entirely different era.
They seem to be gelling here a little bit as we're getting a few weeks into the 25 season.
So a run on first down. Still a lot of football left here. We are still at 8 minutes, 20 seconds to go here in the first half. The Zips 5 consecutive scoring drives.
Duke's offense still trying to find something to hang their hat on.
A nice run up the middle, had the entire offensive line trying to move that pile along. 3rd and 2. They've had very few of these 3rd and manageable situations today.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's almost kind of like recently it's been a little bit of a blitzkrieg with the turnovers and a pick six, and just kind of struggling to get things going. I think just being in this third and short here, a chance to keep this offense on the field, keep their defense on the sideline.
Inside handoff and room to run, and it is enough for a Duquesne first down. Ness Davis barreling forward.
There you go, a little bit of positive momentum, getting that first down, keeping your offense on the field, giving your defense a break.
Allows them to take a little bit of time, get their bearings. Felt like they've been rushed throughout most of this game. But this play absolutely blown up, and look who it is once again. Bruno Dahl making sure that play went nowhere.
Yeah, he's kind of a name to kind of watch right off the edge. Does a great job, uses his hands, plays right off the tight end, and see him come upfield, shed the tight end, and make the tackle. You watch him, and you're like, this is kind of a guy who's going to be a name to know in the MAC, and I think his exposure is going to really start to rise as he's really getting better. And they've talked about the weight that he's put on since he's been there.
That's a 5-yard loss on first down. And Riddell rolling out. Does complete it to his receiver.
Jermaine Johnson, number 1, their speed guy underneath, able to haul it in. There's been a few times these receivers have had some drops, but there, Riddell able to buy a little bit of time, find a receiver, and get some positive yards, and still in a 3rd and long.
So that was a pickup of 6. They need 9 more. Boy, Akron's got away with not having to send much in the way of pressure. We've seen 1 quarterback blitz, but there haven't been a lot of pockets on the field to throw that football. Play clock down to 1. They didn't get it off. High snap. They let him play on, and he escapes the pocket, and after all of that, he slides safely after the first down. I thought the play clock read 0 there for a couple ticks.
Yeah, it was racing down, and then a nice job by the quarterback getting his hand up. And then I said sometimes Riddell is just a gamer, and there he's able to haul it in. He sees green. He says, you know what, I'm running. It's 3rd and long. I'm not taking any chance. I'm going to get what I can get the first.
Swing throw to Isabella on the right side, and he's quickly run out of bounds. They give him 2 or 3 yards.
That's a nice play, too. It's been a rough first half for Riddell, and for him to kind of make a play there, you need him to continue to start to rebuild his confidence again. He's been around for a while as a 7th-year player. Last year, Gardner-Webb threw for over 2,500 yards, 16 touchdowns. He can make plays. Just kind of need to get some consistency, some rhythm, some confidence back in his first half.
Dukes on the other side of midfield for the first time today, and a quick strike. So now they found a little rhythm to this offense. Got a nice drive developing here after the completion.
Yeah, just keeping it simple. Runs, short passes, getting the ball out of his hand. A 1 run by the QB on the previous play. Nothing big, nothing over the top. Keeping it high percentage. Moving the football.
3rd and 1. Under 4 minutes here in the half. Isabella in motion. Handoff, and it's up for a first down. Nice carry, Sean Solomon Jr.
Yeah, Solomon going to run there, doing a good job. Again, doesn't have the burst that they have when Taj Butts is in there, but he's a player with good vision, good agility. A great story as well. Again, a local kid there from Pittsburgh who under scholarship. And Coach Schmidt was telling us early in his career he was kind of questioning himself whether he belonged there, whether he, I think kind of the term is imposter syndrome. They had to kind of talk, say, hey, you know what, you got the talent, you belong here. And that confidence has been growing in him, and they're going to need him to play a big role, especially see how long Butts is out. But
so a first down, and they will throw. Akron rushes 4, just gets it away, and it's a completion, and that's Davis over the middle for a few yards. Boy, it's interesting. You talk about a rare instance in sports at any level where a player is the opposite of delusional.
Yeah.
Instead, they go drift the other way. Not enough confidence to start out.
Yeah, and so, but said they were able to convince him that he had the talent. He's really been kind of developing for them and taking on a bigger role, and now kind of leading the charge within that run game with Taj Butts out.
Need to get to the 23-yard line, 2nd and 7. Down to about 2:20 to go. Quick strike left side, but that ball is knocked down by Ben Kamara.
Yeah, if you're an Akron fan, you got to feel good to see him back on the field with the way that he is playing tonight. You see, he's got, look at it, that frame. He's got the length that you want in a corner, and outstanding job in position, using that length to knock that ball out. He's fired up. I don't blame him. He's playing some ball tonight.
3rd and 7. Operating from the shotgun almost exclusively throughout this football game. Has Solomon next to him. Here comes the blitz. And he is knocked down. The ball is loose. And it looks like another turnover.
Roderick Hunter is going to come from depth there on the safety blitz, as you mentioned. They bring pressure. Hunter is coming in. Riddell's going to see him. Watch number 13 come screaming down the middle of the field, and he's kind of getting ready to throw and brace for the hit at the same time. And as he goes back, he just loses the handle on the football. And just the presence of Hunter on that pressure forces the turnover.
Boy, you saw those Akron defenders were bearing down, and it helped to create the 3rd Duquesne turnover of the half.
2 of them have led to points.
Handoff on 1st down. Gets all the way pretty close to another 1st down for the Zips. Meanwhile, Akron trying to build that lead. A couple minutes left for the half here in Akron. Been all Akron here today in Bocision Stadium. Zips looking for that first win of the year. Meanwhile, they'll be at Toledo next week. Of course, all the MACtion available and a busy slate Saturday. ESPN Plus. Boy, Miami, they had a big-time shot to upset UNLV. Could not hold on to the lead. there, so eventually ended up falling. But stick with us. ESPN Plus, your home for Mid-American Conference football. They throw that ball out to the sideline. Now it's all about speed for Miles Walker.
Akron has been able to take turnovers and make them equate into points. Trying to do it here again before this first half ends.
Clock stopped at 1:54. Finley looking to throw. He'll step up and has his man again open right in the middle of that zone. And it's Miles Walker.
And it's all starting again. I think kind of the group that's really impressed me has been this O-line. Look at the pocket that Finley has. And when he could set his feet, step into a throw, he's got the accuracy, he's got all the ability. The offensive line has given him the opportunities to do that. He does it right there as he hits Walker, the redshirt senior.
Akron with all 3 of their timeouts remaining. The way they've been playing, they probably won't need it. Starting and stopping and starting again on that run from Jordan Gant.
I think if Gant would have bounced it, I think he had some green there. I think he tried to cut it back inside. I think his big old lineman leading the way kind of blocked his vision. Got a little bit of clips there.
So Gant off the field, Patrick back on. 2nd and 4, approaching the 1-minute mark. Finley moving left, has Newell, and he goes a little high and through the hands of his big tight end.
It's a shame. It's a nice job by Finley. He rolled out to his right. It wasn't there. He got himself set. Went back through his progressions all the way to the backside and just missed a little bit overthrown there on his tight end, Newell.
Newell had his first start of the season a week ago. The big tight end.
He was a big part of this offense a year ago. Fourth in receptions and getting him back in the mix now. Coach Morris said was having him gives him a lot of versatility. Keep with that 11 personnel.
Right now the officials breaking out of their huddle.
Illegal touching. Offense, number 88. The player was covered and therefore ineligible.
Second time that's happened for them.
5-yard penalty for the previous spot. The down will count. It's 3rd down.
Obviously that was a shock to Newell, but it's not the first time that has happened tonight. Just comes down to details and knowing the formation where he's set, but he's got the eligible number but was covered up, so not an eligible receiver.
All right, so they finally get things sorted out. No runoff in that situation. Of course, Akron still has their timeouts as well. So 3rd down. Finley over the middle. And there is Sean Patrick before he's upended at the 7-yard line.
Yeah, Patrick in the backfield. You see him coming out. Nice job by Finley, quickly checking it down to him.
Under 40 seconds. Akron looking to score again. And the handoff basically untouched. Jordan Gant, yet another touchdown for Gant, the Akron Zips. What a half for that young gentleman.
Good job by Gant. See him press, sees the opening to his right, and he hits it, and he gets in the end zone. In case you lost track of how many he scored, he's going to count them all for you. Nice job. Pressing to the left, that hole opens to the right, he cuts it. And then 1, 2, 3, yep. There you go. You don't got to be an accounting major to figure out that he's had a good first half.
Now, is it a different tire each and every time, or?
I hope not. I if it is, that poor equipment guy, that's a lot of tires.
Well, we know they're in great supply, this region of the country.
See, I don't know, you may not be able, but every time I see like the turnover of their touchdown tire, I think about back in the 70s or 80s when you would go to a gas station and you had to use the restroom and they would put the key on some huge thing like a tire, and then here you go.
So there it is, home of Goodyear.
Great advertising for them tonight. We've seen a turnover and a touchdown tire. They're getting it. There you go. Lots of shots of that.
I don't think we have the blimp nearby today. Maybe catching a little bit of a rest.
What it should be, Anthony, though, is if you have like a 3-touchdown night like Gannett's having, you should have like one of those 4x4 tires, really one of the big ones.
Oh, yeah.
It should go up in size. If he scores like again, you should get like a monster truck tire.
Now, are you old enough to remember in, say the snow belt area of Northeast Ohio where they would have chains over the tires?
Yeah, they still do that out west, I hear, just because they're not allowed to salt the road. So, yeah, you got to put the chains on the tires. Thank God you don't have to do that anymore.
Well, that just wouldn't be comfortable, trying to put those tires on over your head.
Maybe we'll see if there's a snow game. Check back later in the season.
Well, it has been just sheer dominance from the Zips today at home. It's exactly the type of breakout performance that head coach Joe Moorhead had been looking for. They felt a little desperate this week. And I think that even Moorhead, as some of the veteran coaches, it takes a lot to impress them. Even he has to be pretty happy with this first half performance.
Yes, but the key there, first half performance, there's still another half to play. I'm sure he's going to go in at halftime here, 29 seconds to go, but he's going to tell his team, now we got to finish. All right, this game is not over. You can't go out in the second half. Figured you've solved the Rubik's Cube. You've got to continue to play. So we'll see how Akron handles success in the second half if they can play with it.
The Dukes hand it off. I think they want to get out of Dodge, and I do not think Akron will be using their timeouts to try to get the football back one more time. I think they are pleased with the 38-0 edge, and they will take that into the locker room for our first half, coming to an end. Well, Craig, it has just been everything Akron fans have wanted to see and more.
Yeah, started out with a big special teams play. They would turn it into points, then the offense and defense would step in with outstanding play. All three phases of the game for the Zips responding in that first quarter and going into the half with a commanding lead. Now, can they come out? Can they play with that lead? And can they finish? That is the storyline of the second half.
Well, that's your cue to hang in there, maybe get a drink, maybe get a slice of pizza and come back. We've got a loaded halftime show for you here at InfoCision Stadium. The Zips up big, 38-0. Our halftime show is next.
First half in the books here in Akron between the Zips and Duquesne out of the NEC. We got your halftime show coming up. Don't forget, you can get all of ESPN college football all in one place with the all-new ESPN app. Make sure to unlock with the ESPN Unlimited plan or log in with your TV provider. Meanwhile, stick around. Halftime show with full highlights, analysis, and the Mid-American Conference scoreboard. That's all straight ahead. You're watching MAC Football on ESPN. Lopsided score here in Akron, 38-zip over the Dukes. Akron looking for that first win of the season, but it has been a complete performance. It's exactly what Akron was hoping for.
Yeah, for an 0-3 team, they are playing like they certainly wanted to change that because they have been outstanding throughout that first half, and really not in just any one way. All three phases of that Akron team have contributed to this commanding lead at the halftime.
They came out wanting to run tempo, making sure to take their shots, and then as they eased into this game, boy, they had endless opportunities, and the offense was so impressive, especially that running game to get things going.
Yeah, Jordan Gant is already over 100 yards. That first score would come off of a special teams play. And then we see there the quarterback, Ben Finley, stepping up, hitting Mason for a touchdown. That touchdown would come off of an interception. And this one, the defense, DeWalt, would say, hey, you know what? We don't need the offense. I'm going to go ahead and take care of business myself with the pick six. And the offense would continue to keep rolling there. Number 22, Gant, would put in another score and keep working. And this would be number 3 in the first half of that beautiful read, cutting it back to the right. 1, 2, 3. Yes, sir. He's had an outstanding first half, and he has gotten very familiar with that touchdown tire, Anthony.
I think we've seen more of those tires than first downs for the Dukes. You see just the massive edge, 318 yards of total offense.
Yeah, the 3 turnovers, all 3 of those turnovers that Akron has created, they were able to turn into points. That's 21 points there.
Now, defensively, Akron, you've seen they've been so much more physical. They've been quick to the ball, and they've been forcing turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, that's the key thing. This defense has been flying around and using that tempo to be able to create turnovers. And as I mentioned, not just create turnovers, but when they did create turnovers, whether they did it themselves with the pick six from DeWalt right there, or giving their offense back the football, letting them take care of the business. Every time they created a turnover, it created points, and that defense was just flying around.
Now, Bruno Dahl also with 4 tackles, had a big sack, couple tackles for loss, and a couple turnover tires there for Akron. But they don't want to stop there. We got a whole second half of football that is left.
That, to me, is going to be the story. How do they respond to success? Do they come out in the second half and take care of business?
It's been exactly what they've been hoping for here in Akron. More of our halftime show after this.
As part of an ongoing effort to increase sustainability,
It's halftime here in Akron, and it's been all Zips as they chase that first victory of the year. Busy slate around the Mid-American Conference. You know, these teams, you want to make sure you're not looking ahead, but still taking care of business at the same time as we are at that spot in the season.
Well, it's interesting because we're either just getting into or you still have conference play ahead of you. So still a lot of goals in place, as we mentioned, for the top. Akron wanting to get that first win on the board. They got to finish the second half to kind of get that momentum going.
Every other game in the conference is now a final. That was a wild one in Oxford between UNLV and Miami. What a comeback victory for the running Rebels. Bowling Green, Eddie George, they have had a nice start to the season, but didn't go so well down in Louisville.
Yeah, Buffalo kind of just trailing on Troy. They'll be taking on UConn next week, who wound up playing a MAC team as well.
And also Kent State, well, that was an unenviable task going down to Tallahassee and Toledo and Western Michigan. Yeah, a little bit of action there, but it is a final, and Toledo falls on the road. So busy slate around the MAC for today, but still one half of football left in the conference. And we, of course, will have all of that for you. So how could you go anywhere else? Keep it locked in here. It's MAC football at ESPN.
Getting ready to start the third quarter here in Akron, and it's been all Zips, up 38-0. And we knew all week there was no way Joe Moorhead and the Zips were going to take this matchup against an FCS opponent lightly.
They'll be well prepared. They'll play fast. They'll play physical. They'll execute at a high level. And as we've seen throughout the country this year, particularly in the MAC, a number of FCS over FBS upsets, so we're not taking anybody lightly. We know we got to play our absolute best every week, and our preparation, our effort, our execution isn't going to change based on the opponent or our perception of the opponent. That we're going to need to do everything necessary to win this football game over a very good team.
And it does seem like they've been a desperate team, and if you wonder why they haven't won since dating back to last year, an overtime thriller that they had against Toledo, and that was late November.
Yeah, that was a big win. Obviously, Toledo is kind of really has been establishing himself as really one of the top teams within the MAC. So that was kind of a big win. One of those wins that we talked about, Anthony, that was starting to set up the excitement for maybe Akron turning the corner. 0-3 start kind of settled those excitements. But here in that first half, as Coach Joe Moorhead said, they did not take Duquesne lightly. Didn't matter what conference they're from, what division. They were preparing as a dangerous opponent, and they've been taking care of business. Now, how do they finish? Good teams finish. Can Akron finish this game?
Well, they had the great second half last week down at UAB, and boy, did they pick up, especially the second quarter, but where they left off, you know, defensively with that performance, and you saw a lot of the same. Meanwhile, the Dukes, you know, there probably aren't a lot of plays in that playbook that you feel are going to work against this stifling defense, but it does have to start with, you know, they got to get back in rhythm. They got to help fortify the line there, because poor Tyler Riddell was absolutely under fire.
Yeah, I mean, they actually ran one more offensive play than Akron did in the first half, but only had 48 yards of offense.
So they will hand the ball off on first down. Sean Solomon is wrapped up and taken down.
And we saw them kind of finish the first half with this kind of runs, short, high percentage throws, try to move the football, gain some confidence back. I mean, obviously 38-0 deficit is not taken in one play, and probably a very tall hill to try to climb, but you kind of got to get some offensive confidence going.
Another handoff on second down. Missed tackle by the shoestrings. And the biggest play from scrimmage so far. Sean Solomon was off to the races.
Well, a big offensive play here. Nice job, as you mentioned. Just a missed tackle there, working against Roderick Hunter. He's able to break through that arm tackle and get a big gain there. Something that we were missing from that offense in the first half. Now can they build off that big run by Solomon?
Solomon goes off the field, so substitution. But all the way down to the Akron 38-yard line. Decent gain on first down from Ness Davis, who's gotten in on some of the action today.
Yes, again, this is an offense without its lead back. Taj Butt's out for this game. Ness Davis working in there with Solomon, who's had the big run, play previous. Still, you know, what's interesting, too, in that first half, within receiving, no catches at all for their stud wide receiver, Joey Isabel.
Out of the gun, Davis again trying to fall forward, so it'll set up third and a few. As you see the defense for the Zips, it's been now 4 quarters that they have not only been dominant, I mean, they have held their opponents scoreless. So they want to keep a big 0 on the board. They don't want that to end anytime soon. They need 4. They got 4 wide receivers out there. And time to throw. Easy connection over the middle. Here's Isabella down to the 17-yard line. Finally, Joey Isabella gets open.
Yeah, we've mentioned that name quite a few times tonight, but really all he's had, I think, 2 targets and with 1 drop. And there, though, working over the middle, helping him to move the chains.
So he had a nice contingent with his family and high school buddies from up the road in Northeast Ohio, Mayfield High School. Of course, his brother played in the NFL for about 5 seasons. Another quick throw, getting rid of the ball quickly, and a missed tackle. And now threatening as they're all the way down to the 7-yard line.
Yeah, we talked about how well that defense played, but now 2 missed tackles on this drive. Once again, Hunter kind of coming in, going low, not able to get the tackle and setting him up here, 1st and goal.
Well, something to build on for the Dukes. They did have a lengthy, decent drive in the second quarter. Now it didn't culminate in points. Now they're trying to finally break through.
Yeah, getting his offense some confidence and a chance to kind of get on the board. There's a lot of football to play. We talked about a theme for this second half is can Akron finish?
Ness Davis in the backfield. Instead, it's a throw. Isabella was hung up and could not get any breathing room, so the ball falls out of bounds, incomplete.
Yeah, he had a 2-man escort right there. Plenty there. Looked like it was kind of a read option. Should have gave. There was a nice seam there. Thing you don't want to do. They've been plagued by turnovers in that first half. The offense is moving. You're in a 2nd and goal. You want to make sure you get points on the board here.
Riddell trying to break a tackle, spinning and falling down inside the 5-yard line, but getting closer.
A little bit of a sprint out there from Riddell. He's sprinting out. There was nothing there. Quickly tucks it and runs. Inside the 5 here, you know. I mean, probably unless you just want to make sure you break the 0 off the scoreboard, probably looking at 2 downs here to get in.
From the gun, throwing into the end zone, no chance. And right now, looks like that offense is staying on the field.
Yeah, like I said, the only reason to bring out the kicking team is if you just wanted to make sure that scoreboard at one point doesn't continue to say 0, but needing a touchdown here, see if they can try to punch it in.
The Dukes, great on 4th down. Last year, they were exceptional, one of the best teams in the country. 18-20 on 4th down. That actually did lead the FCS. 10th play of the drive. They were perfect on the year coming in today's game on 4th down. Out of the gun, throwing, and that one is incomplete. So the Akron defense gave up an 11-play drive, but still 0 on the scoreboard.
Good coverage there. Looked like throw was on target there. Right in the inside, trying to drill it in there, just unable to hold on. And Akron defense showing that not only could it be suffocating at times, but it could also bend but not break as they hold on to their shutout. Akron up 38-0, and part of this big lead has been the play of their quarterback, number 10, Ben Finley. Outstanding first half, 10 of 18 with a touchdown. Early on, it looked like he might be off to a rough start when he threw an interception on their first drive, but it's really settled in. 4 different players have at least 2 catches for Akron, doing a nice job of distributing the football around him. His offensive line has played very well in the first half, giving him time. He's worked the pocket, done a nice job of stepping into his throws and being accurate.
Worst starting field position on the day for the Akron Zips. That ball handed off in the end zone. It's still on his feet. And he is off past the 25-yard line before he's run out of bounds. Sensational run once again by Jordan Gant.
Yeah, Jordan Gant just showing great feet, working in traffic, watching the way he navigates, the way he sees, the lateral mobility to be able to make defenders miss, find the creases, and he is the kind of stick with the tire, man. He's clicking on all cylinders.
Quick throw outside of the right hash.
Maybe that's why I'm up here and not in an OC booth, but the way he's running, I just keep feeding him. Like, he is just playing outstanding ball, talking about number 22, Jordan Gant. Though you want to kind of keep things balanced a little bit, but he certainly seems to be feeling it tonight. His vision and the quickness and decisiveness with the way that he is running.
Well, he was over 100 yards in the first half alone, and still running hard, closer and closer to the chains.
Yeah, I mean, he's just slashing his way through that defense, just showing great reactive athleticism. They're going to bring in their running quarterback, Michael Johnson Jr.
Well, we know at the next level what a team in Philadelphia does every time they get in this spot. We know what Akron likes to do over the last few years every time they get in a spot like this. And he hands it off. And a nice pulverizing run, staying on his feet. Gant's going to take the whole team to bring him down.
Yeah, but I just keep feeding him. He's feeling it right now. He's fun to watch. He gets it. Watch that crease. Watch him get low. He's running behind his pads, and he's just so physical. And that's you always hear in football, low man wins. Gant is running low behind those pads, and he's getting it done. I guess the best way to stop him right now, if you're the Dukes, get him on the sideline.
Well, he's going to have more yards today on the ground than he's had in the first 3 games all season long, and we still have plenty of football. This time, Finley has to get rid of it before he's hit. Caught all the way down to the 15-yard line. Big throw and catch, Kyan Mason.
Him and Mason connected for a touchdown. Look at that, he just steps into it. Mason runs right underneath it, working across the field. Again, nice job just from start to finish. Good protection, nice job by Finley. Stepping up in the pocket, again, can be really accurate when he gets his feet set. Follows through as he does there for the big gain through the air.
5'9", playing at one of the preeminent high school programs in the country, St. Ed's in Cleveland. He had 68 yards receiving coming in today. Finley, the throw up the middle. Another touchdown for the Zips. This time, Tim Greer Jr.
Tim Greer Jr. touchdown. Zips.
Here's watch him work Patrick, ride it, pull it out. And he's got a nice throw there, Greer on the slant. Well played by Finley there. He rides his running back, Patrick, pulls it at the last second, and then gets it on Greer. And there's the old touchdown tire.
They've had enough of those to furnish a bus. And that's probably what Duquesne feels like they've been hit with so far today.
They've used those tires so much they need a pit crew.
You know, Duquesne had a nice drive to come out of the half, but they came away with no points, and Akron went the distance. 96 yards and another touchdown for the Zips. all Akron as the Zips trying to preserve the shutout. They were threatened and then came back. 6 plays, 96 yards, 3 minutes, and doing most of the dirty work. It's been Jordan Gant. What a sensational day he's had.
Yeah, that was an efficient 96 yards. I didn't even realize that drive was that long until we saw that, because they started feeding Jordan Gant, and he was just making runs and ripping off sizable chunks of yardage, and a nice throw downfield to number 3, Mason, and then finishing it off with the strike to Greer. That was just a well-executed drive by Akron. We talked about, can the Zip team come out, play with a lead, and finish? And still a lot of football left, but they're starting this third quarter off looking like that.
Gant already has 3 touchdowns on the day, and also 148 yards, averaging 13.5 per carry. Braden Johnson kicking off the football, and that's into the end zone. So the Dukes, they've had a couple of possessions now where they've been able to actually move the football, get some first downs, even connected on some throws. We finally saw Joey Isabella get involved for the Dukes, but still looking at a goose egg right now on the scoreboard.
They're able to get down on that last one. A little bit of running, high percentage throws, and try to get that offense kind of moving, getting downfield, try to get some points on the board.
They'll hand it off. Big hole on first down. Still running to the 30, the 20, the 10. Taken down just short of the goal line. Ness Davis. Biggest play from scrimmage we've had so far.
And you see Ness Davis just getting downhill. Nice job by the offensive line, just creating space right in the middle. And shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. That's what they let Ness Davis operate on. And he was able to rip off a big gain there and give this offense a little bit of a spark, try to give him a chance to kind of punch it in and get on the board.
74 yards on the carry, and you saw those legs moving. I didn't know he had that gear. Arkansas Pine Bluff transfer from Athens, Georgia, 5'11", 200. Boy, they want to get in here. Davis walled off and nowhere to go. You can tell the Zips taking some pride down here by the goal line.
Yeah, the Dukes tried to reward Davis after that big run, but there's nowhere to go. So number 20, Mekhi Flowers, comes screaming in there off the edge to get his arms around the legs, and that defensive line gave no ground. Last time down here, tried to move the QB out on the edge.
He's got Davis next to him, Isabella in motion. He'll keep it. And that throw is dropped, brought down, or it would have been a touchdown. Another big defensive play by Bruno Dahl.
Yeah, Bruno Dahl, he's about 6'7", and he just went to Kembe Mutombo there. He just said no. Got up there, just took that down. That's a big target to try to throw over. A nice play. We've seen him create issues rushing the passer there. Just get your hands up, use that big frame.
Boy, he's making some plays that make you think he'd even get some looks at the next level, because that's a touchdown if he doesn't bat that down. Straight to the right, diving towards the pylon. It's a touchdown. Logan Kushner came into the game and put points on the board for the Dukes.
Yeah, Kushner is kind of the runner of them, getting to the edge. You're going to see Ness Davis make a block there. That was really key. Allowed Kushner to be able to get to the edge, extend, and get that ball inside the pylon to get the Dukes on the board. But Ness Davis with a big run to set him up, and then a key block there to spring his quarterback and break that shutout.
Well, where did that drive come from? They got the big-time run by Ness Davis, And Logan Kushner tops it off with a touchdown. The Zips finally give one up. It's 45-7. 5 minutes plus. All right, the Dukes showed up a little bit here in the second half. Put a nice couple of drives together. Finally got on the scoreboard. 4 plays, 75 yards. They got the touchdown run and the goal line by the backup QB, Logan Kushner. And, of course, the Ness Davis 70-plus yard run ignited all of it. So goose egg, no more. Akron will get the football next. 5:20 to go here in the third quarter. It had been all Akron until recently. We're going to get a return here. Out to the 25 and brought down at the 30-yard line. Nice job out of Brandon Hills. Oh, what an effort so far today for the Zips. Standout running back performance, Jordan Gant. Look at these numbers.
Yeah, he hasn't had like that run like Ness Davis had, that big 50, 60, 70-yard run. That's been a lot of just hard work, great vision, good footwork, and he's had an outstanding game so far, starting this series off on the sideline.
Helmet's still on, so he can potentially add to that total. Handoff to Marquise Williams. Get to the outside. Nice run for about 9 yards.
I'm not going to lie. Selfishly, I'd like to see him keep handling it too, because I'm enjoying the way that he is running tonight.
They see a nice mix of patience, but also that explosiveness.
Yeah, he's played really well. And again, you watch him on film, he's a heck of a blocker as well. When they ask him to stay in it, he's got a chance to be a complete football player.
2nd and 2 And it's a first down run, Marquise Williams.
Yeah, 2 nice runs there, too. And again, that goes to, I really felt coming into this game that that offensive line might be a liability, and that with the experience that the Dukes had along that defensive front, 3 of their captains are on that defensive line, that could really be a problem area for Akron. I'll tell you what, that offensive line has just played their butts off tonight. They have been really good. Really kind of
timeout for equipment.
proved me wrong from what I expected from that unit. Again, you watch them on film, a lot of different bodies shuffling in and out there. Looked like they were trying to find the right combination. Well, whatever they're doing tonight is working, because that offensive line group has just been excellent for the Zips in pass protection, as well as creating running lanes for Gant or number 13 Patrick, or we're seeing it now, number 24 Williams.
I think Finley's only really been hit maybe once or twice in this game. He launches one down the left sidelines, and nearly a spectacular grab. It was tight coverage looking for Marcel Williams.
Well, he's going to get good pocket there as well, going down, and Donovan Stanley running with him, doing a nice job of just playing it. Good coverage, nice job there, not panicking from the graduate senior.
2nd and 10.
But again, like even for that shot downfield, he had time. Nice job picking up pressure.
Finley to throw, needs to avoid the rush, and he just does get that off. And that ball, did it squirt loose? Incomplete.
Officials timeout for an offensive injury.
All right now, Ben Finley is limping around. Certainly do not want to see that in a game with a score like this.
Yeah, going down, and it was some nifty footwork by him just to get free, breaking out to the edge. And I'll tell you what, he's tough. He took a big shot a week before against UAB, had to leave for a little bit, came back. You see that glove on that left hand, that off throwing hand's been a little bit banged up, but you'll watch him too. He's got some clean pockets tonight, but he's not afraid to stand in there and take a hit to try to deliver.
So 3rd and 10, normally when Michael Johnson Jr. comes into the game, it is a run. This time it was about to be a screen, but that was batted down behind the line of scrimmage.
Doing a nice job getting upfield, getting her hands up, disrupting that screen there. And it's Duke's defense doing their job, creating a quick series there for Akron offensively and getting their offense the ball back here.
That was Nico Pate coming in off the defensive line to bat that screen down. This punt all the way back, beautifully done at the 7-yard line. The coverage was there. And that is spectacular by the Zips, as Isabella had no room to maneuver.
Yeah, that was a beautiful punt, just great hang time. And this offense really showing a little life on that last drive. Ness Davis hitting it right up the middle for a big gain. It would take a few snaps, but ultimately Kushner, the backup quarterback, would come in. Davis with a nice block there, and then the sophomore backup QB extending to get across, and he'll stay in there. They're a player who will certainly bring a running dynamic to this offense.
So Kushner, like his predecessor, operating from the gun, and that play going nowhere. As Jason Hocker, normally the backup there, linebacker, comes right in, makes a play.
We'll see here. Riddell having a rough night, a couple of turnovers, giving your sophomore quarterback some reps, some experience, giving him an opportunity here.
Kushner from Pittsburgh, North Allegheny. All right, off to the right side. Dazon Hopkins. So under 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Going to see both teams starting to cycle in more players. Good opportunity to kind of see what some of the backups are made of before you get into conference play.
Yeah, it's third and medium. We'll see if they'll let Kushner put it up here. Keep it on the ground.
Looking at big Bruno Dahl lined up on the left side. And he was making his way in there. Pass was complete, but tackled right away was Garrett Harold. And a nice job by the Zip defense. DeMarco Johnson makes the play.
Yeah, really nice job. Good angle there by number 18, Johnson, getting in and wrapping up, making that tackle in space, and not allowing any positive yards and forcing the punt.
And you want to be careful down here. We have seen one effort that was blocked very early in the game. You do that down here.
That was really what got things going for Akron tonight.
All right, this time they're able to get it away. And some great starting field position for the Zips now, as that one only made it to the 38-yard line. It was a 28-yard punt.
This offense, as you mentioned, start here in plus territory inside the Duke's 40-yard line. Michael Johnson will come back out, start this series.
Head coach Joe Moorhead adamant this week that, you know, Johnson was somebody that you didn't just have to line him up in short yardage and goal line situations, even though we do see that. But he can also throw the football, but here he's ready to take everybody on.
Yeah, Johnson. He's an interesting player. He was very highly touted coming out of high school. Back in the 2019 class, originally signed with Penn State and would head to Florida Atlantic, went to at Syracuse last year with his father, who's on that staff, and now here at Akron.
This time, a little too much heat on that throw to Newell.
Went to high school in the state of Oregon, where his dad was coaching at the time. Just seemed like a lot of promise. Never really kind of lived up to it, and has kind of bounced around. And certainly has some tools, but as you mentioned, Anthony, really it's been more with his legs later in his career. He'll be involved, though. They're going to use him in that aspect to come in. We've seen it early in the season. We've seen it tonight. Finley is in charge of this offense, but Johnson will play a role at times and come in as a running option.
Well, these are the types of scenarios where he does use his legs. This time, hands it off up the middle. There's Gannigan inside the 20. As he re-enters the game and more yardage puts him north of $150.
And coming out again, being selfish here, I just keep feeding him, but there he got a little bit of space up the middle. Showed some of that explosion, picking up the first down.
See if they get one more playoff before the end of the quarter. Another handoff and just bringing him down by the shoes. Marquise Williams thought he had himself a potential score, but he's taken down as the clock continues to run. You take a look at Finley walking the sideline. He had to receive some treatment. Also looking at that hand that he got banged up.
Yeah, he's a tough young man, but I think, you know, he's done enough tonight. No reason, like I said, still conference play ahead, so he doesn't need to prove anything more, but he's done a nice job leading that offense and setting him into quite the commanding lead, 45-7 as we head into the fourth quarter, and the Zips look to finish it and get in the win column for 2025.
45-7, Akron in command of this football game as most of the mat gets ready for conference action a week from today. Some very, very good matchups. Akron will be at Toledo. Remember, Toledo #1 when it came to the preseason coaches poll. So that'll be a big-time matchup for the Zips. Miami squandered one today, had the lead over UNLV, but ended up losing that football game. That was a wild one. People just getting texts from all over the country on that game. Gotta love Maction as we get further along in the year. This time, Michael Johnson Jr. on his feet, hanging in there, and had to get down or he was about to take a shot.
Well, it was a nice job creating. There was pressure coming right up the middle, and talked about Michael Johnson's feet. Number 45 screaming. He avoids him, gets downfield, avoids another tackler, and falls forward. And that's something that he can do. Create something really when there wasn't anything there.
Zips trying to get things sorted out. Some valuable reps now for Michael Johnson. Not in the typical role that we have seen him so far this year, where it's been just on short yardage, goal line situations. Got to get this off quickly, and does. Johnson staring left. Now rolling out to the right. His head is up, throws one in the back of the end zone. And it's caught, but out of bounds. Tim Greer Jr. ran all the way across the field, but couldn't get the feet down.
There was so much green to the right. He threw that. If he would have just tucked that and ran, he'd still be running. He kept dropping and wanted to make that pass. The entire right side of the field was completely wide open.
Turned into a 21-yard Hail Mary.
Yeah. So, yeah, instead of going ground delivery, he tried to airmail it, and no good.
Second down and 10. This time they hand it off. Gant trying to squirt through the right side and takes it down to the 5-yard line.
Gant does such a great job of pressing the line of scrimmage, seeing the daylight, and then making that adjustment. Again, I really enjoyed the way that he has performed tonight, the way that he has run. I see if they'd let him complete the car tonight and go for that 4th tire.
Wouldn't that be nice? They will throw it. Back of the end zone. There was contact, but the officials say no dice. That's incomplete. Tight coverage is, again, Johnson trying to connect with Tim Greer Jr. It looks like they'll bring the kicking unit in.
Luke, it's your boy. He's your boy.
Opportunity here for get some more reps here. Wiley with only 2 of 6 coming in tonight. Hit one earlier, a scram. Getting the opportunity to kick this one. They've struggled on the year outside of 30 yards.
Moorhead said the competition continues. This one a chip shot from 22. Snap was good, hold was good, and the kick was good. Zips add to the lead. It's 48-7. All Akron tonight. So Akron adds to the lead. They didn't get into the end zone, but they did get a 22-yard field goal out of Matthew Schramm. So we've seen a few kickers, seen a few quarterbacks. Michael Johnson Jr. Well-traveled. Boy, Craig, you were talking about recruiting class of what, 2019?
Yep.
Feels like every week I've got a few of those players because they got the COVID year, they got a red shirt, maybe a grad transfer along the way.
Well, I mean, B.J. Alexander for Duquesne, I think he's an 8th-year player.
It's unbelievable. College, some of the best decades in your life if you play it the right way.
You're going to see it even, I mean, obviously you mentioned the COVID thing is going to start to go in the rearview mirror, but now with NIL, players who can stretch out their career and make a little bit extra money now playing college, I think you're going to see more players trying to stick around.
Kickoff sails into the end zone. So it'll be a touchback. Duquesne, last possession, we did see Logan Kushner responsible for their sole touchdown of the day. He's back out there. The local Pittsburgh product. Sophomore, and they played his high school ball, North Allegheny. Threw a nice little change-up there down by the goal line. You wonder how head coach Jerry Schmidt might utilize that come NEC conference slate.
I think he could wind up kind of playing the Michael Johnson Jr. role that he does for Akron. This is what he does well with his feet.
Was getting dragged down from behind, tried to stay on his feet.
But head coach Jerry Schmidt really kind of raved about Kushner's athleticism, and I think, as you kind of alluded to, Anthony, they're going to find ways to interject that into the offense this year.
Last week, they lost at 10th-ranked Lehigh, 35-21. That was a nice litmus test to see where they were before obviously jumping up a level for today's game in Akron. Some space on the right side, and turning into a decent day for Ness Davis.
Yeah, a transfer new to the program. Kind of getting comfortable, but coach saying he runs hard. He's done a nice job tonight, as you mentioned, kind of really had the big play for this offense that set up their lone score. Not only on that drive, the big run, but a key block as well that allowed Kushner to get across the goal line.
It's also got to be nice for Coach Schmidt to see, you know, a player take advantage of an opportunity. Obviously, we talked at the start of the broadcast, Taj Butts, who is a big part of their offense, unable to go this week because of an injury. They really want to get him healthy, obviously, for the conference slate. So then you're looking around. It's obviously a wide chasm on the scoreboard. And then to see Ness Davis do what he's been able to do, that's making the most of an opportunity.
Yeah, listen, it's a long season, so the more players you have at your disposal, the better depth you have, the better off you are. Again, this is a Duquesne team that's either won or shared the NEC title 2 years in a row, made the playoffs 2 years ago. You want to try to get that conference title to 3. They're going to need depth.
Boy, that play had no shot at the start. Big number 97, Jontrell Mixon, seemed like he knew the play.
Yeah, they were back there, and as big number 97, he looked like he was about a step away from taking a handoff.
So 3rd and 13.
This is a defense that really started to kind of flex its muscles in the second half of that UAB game a week ago and have carried that into tonight.
Zips rushing 4, getting through, but Kushner stays on his feet, launches one down the field, and batted down. Didn't put enough underneath that throw, and Terrence Thomas stood there and made a play.
Yeah, Thomas is in position and just played that. As you mentioned, there was immediate pressure to put Kushner on the move. going downfield. You see number 15, he's got the positioning, goes up with that left hand, knocks it away. That's beautifully played there by the redshirt junior. And DeWalt has the pick 6. We've seen Elijah Reed with the interception, called Ben Kamara's name quite a few times. Those corners have played really well tonight.
All right, that ball retrieved, the punt at the 32-yard line. And the Zips will take over there. It's 48-7. We got about 10 minutes plus left for you here in Akron. It's been a tough one for Duquesne as they were able to put one on the board coming in today, trying to notch that second win over an FBS team. Not going to happen today, but it's not going to stop them from taking on these challenges.
Our whole thing is play our best football. Obviously, some of the teams have bigger challenges for us. But I think anything that we do that's going to get us reps, work together, learn from our mistakes and our failures, and keep getting better is going to help us down the stretch. But these types of games like today and next week, and they stress us. They force us to learn fast and hard, and if not, we pay for it.
Well, that's the head coach, Jerry Schmidt. Been at this a long time. Explaining exactly why they want to get a couple of these games under their belt each and every season.
See what he's built there, and how he ranks all time there in FCS coaches. It's rare. I mean, he's a local guy, Pittsburgh area guy, and to be at one program as long as he has is kind of rare in college football coaching circles. But he's found a home and really done a nice job of kind of building up that program, staying in one spot. And I think what were they, Division 2 or even 3 at one point,
Yep.
then non-Scully FCS and now scholarship FCS, and a couple of playoff appearances under their belt, a couple of NEC titles, and the job that he's done there has really been outstanding and kind of a fixture in the Pittsburgh football kind of community.
And Joe Moorhead talked about their relationship, and they've seen each other over the years. You know how coaches are, certainly go back to their roots, all the camps. So a couple of Yinzers is what they said this week. They were looking forward to seeing each other before the game. Meanwhile, the Zips, they went to their third quarterback of the evening. It was Braden Ruggo, 6'4", 205 redshirt freshman out of Tiffin, Ohio, getting some reps now back there for the Zips. And they're going to try to keep this clock moving. The 8:40 mark here in the fourth. This game had been decided in the second quarter. Rugo will take off and get close to midfield. Getting some of his first action.
Yeah, let Michael Johnson Jr. know he could do it too.
Well, that's always why you want to be careful too in these games when they get a little bit out of hand or a couple anxious moments when Finley hobbled off, but he seemed to be fine and in good spirits on the sideline. All right, Rugo out of the gun. He'll throw it to the right side. And another first down for the Zips. This time it's Jean Louis III.
It's a very royal sounding name, isn't it?
Well, if that's the case, should I have gone Jean? Does it sound better if I say Jean Louis III?
Yeah.
He's out of Franklin, New Jersey. 5'8". And this one's complete. Has a chance to go for some nice yardage down the left sideline. And Marquise Williams with a nice catch out of the backfield.
I've seen some flashes here. They may have themselves a pretty talented third back within this mix, along with number 13, Sean Patrick, then obviously number 22, Jordan Gant, who's had a monster night.
See, basically, these teams today operating exclusively out of the shotgun. See so much of that in college football. Well, perhaps he should have given that ball up because he ran into a pile on the right side. He went where too many of the bodies were.
Kind of going with a power look. He gives it to him. He holds it. There were blockers and a running back to the left and defenders to the right. He picked the wrong door.
Door number 2, he chose poorly.
Yeah. Behind the door to the left was a brand new car. Behind the door to the right was a toaster. Took the toaster.
You got to tell the kids what game show that even is.
Let's make a deal?
Let's make a deal.
There you go. Right now I'm leaning hard into the 40-plus audience.
All right, they'll keep it again. So he is down around the 22-yard line.
A little bit better decision there, keeping it, operating with some green. Third down.
Turned out to be an absolutely gorgeous night here. Reached about 81, 82 degrees. Greater Akron area. We call it here Northeast Ohio. Third down and 5. Rugo all day to throw, and now backpedaling and throwing out of bounds. Finally did the prudent thing and said we'll live to see another day.
Yep.
Total yards for the Zips, 460 yards, even though the Dukes have had command in time of possession throughout this game.
It seems like it doesn't seem to add up.
Well, when Akron has scored, they have scored quickly. So they're going to attempt a 40-yard field goal. This is Matthew Shuram. Left hash, has the distance, and he nails it. So the Zips eclipse 50 points. They put 51 on the board. And they have that lead, 5:07 to go, 51-7. The sidelines at Akron today, a lot of smiles throughout the day, and rightfully so. 51-7 in all phases. The Zips have done it, and we talked about how desperate they were for a win. Well, this was why. This is the last time they had more points than the opponents.
Yeah, that was kind of a game that kind of sent them in the offseason with some excitement, and maybe that Akron was going to start to kind of turn the corner, and mentioned it wound up being the last time they would win until tonight. Maybe start to kind of turn this season around with still MAC play in front of them, and good to be home and get back in a win column and build from there.
Well, not to mention they've had their success versus FCS opponents, trying to make it lucky number 13 in a row.
Well, if that offensive line continues to play the way they did tonight, they'll be in good shape. That defense is flying around. Got Bruno Dahl up front, the big defensive end. The secondary's played well, and they continue to get the production they've gotten from the run game. There's no reason to see why the Zips couldn't continue to build off of what they did tonight.
All right, now we got to give the Dukes some love here on special teams, because I think they figured out how to successfully elect for the fair catch on the kickoff, because earlier they were snake bitten by the failure to do so.
Yeah, snake bitten by not getting a punt off, and then a fair catch. So they've had some issues in the punt game, but got those figured out.
All right, 5:07 to go. Throwing on first down, and that one was out of bounds anyway.
Officials timeout for an offensive injury.
Today for the Dukes, you know, these types of games, you go up a level, you want to have good field position. You know, that's always going to be a key. The coaches will dwell on that forever. 13 possessions today, each and every one have started at their own 25 or worse. And now, unfortunately, looks like Matt Brooks is on the ground, but got up. Didn't even need help.
Yeah, with that field position, everything you have to earn, and Akron made it difficult to earn. Really, one of the nice things they did tonight, too, is they completely took Joey Isabella out of the game plan. Last week, he had 8 catches for 153 yards and a touchdown, and he was just a non-factor tonight as Akron took him out of the game plan.
Well, you brought up the attention. I mean, you could see from the onset just how Akron was focused on where he was, where he lined up each and every possession. Really made life tough, because that, in many ways, is their go-to guy, safety valve, especially when they're looking for points. He had 2 touchdowns in back-to-back weeks. And he certainly had the respect of this entire Akron program, especially their defensive coordinator, Tim Tibesar. And Akron, you know, they had a chance to feel good about themselves defensively in that second half. I know they lost last week, but it's moments like that, especially on the road, against a team you feel like you're competitive with, similarly talented, and they held Trent Dilfer's team scoreless. Well, they'll run it on 3rd and 6, and they'll get it up for the first down. Nice job by Logan Kushner in the open field.
I mean, they lost that game a week ago, 31-28. As you mentioned, they shut out UAB in the second half, and one of those scores came off of a special teams return. So there was opportunities for them to win that game, and I think they came out of it last week looking at the positives of what we've done, and even though they came up short, there were building blocks there. And they've built upon them with what they've done tonight. And obviously it's against an FCS opponent. It's a game they should win, but not just getting the W the way they've done it as well. They've got to feel good. They've really played well in all 3 phases. And
Bouncing this one to the outside.
And really, outside of early on, kind of done a nice job of kind of cleaning up the penalties as the game is worn on to something they had been outstanding at coming into this game. Got a few more than normal, but nothing that was backbreaking.
Clock ticking, 3:15 and counting. I think Jerry Schmidt will be happy to get his team back on the road and kind of focus things in over the next week to get ready for conference play. Always for so many of these teams, the FCS especially, it's like a tale of two seasons. And really the MAC teams, they understand that as well, because you saw they went and played in Lincoln last week, ran into a buzzsaw.
So it's still, we're clearly into the 2025 season, but with conference play still ahead, as you mentioned, we had a few MAC games today between MAC opponents, but for both of these teams, their conference schedules are still in front of them, and so you like to win as many games as you can, but in terms of conference goals, those are still ahead for both teams.
3rd and 2. Akron trying to get the ball back for their offense one last time. That handoff got a little closer, may have gained around a yard. Is it decision time?
We'll think about it after the 2-minute timeout.
I was going to say 2 minutes to go, 4th quarter, 4th and 1. The Dukes, do they gamble? Only one way to find out. Don't go anywhere. All right, 2 minutes to go here in Akron. The Zips next week. This is what they've been getting ready for, that showdown at Toledo. The team picked to finish, surprise, surprise, #1 in the Mid-American Conference this year. That will be a biggie for Akron and head coach Joe Moorhead.
Yeah, but you see, all conference games coming up, and now they get to head into it with a win. Those of you on your edge of your seat during the break on whether they would go, they decided to punt.
All right, down to the 8-yard line is where that ball was fielded by Terrence Thomas out of Youngstown, Ohio. Played his high school ball at Boardman, 44-yard punt. So over 500 yards today, that Akron offense, and that is the most since they did it to their arch rivals, Kent State, November 19th of last year.
500 yards. Offense, a lot of that powered by the excellent running of Gant, number 22. Offensive line doing a nice job. Some big plays from receivers as well. A good team effort offensively. Really just for Akron tonight, all three phases contributing to this win.
So Rugo's still in there for the Zips. Handed that ball off on first down.
We were talking under break. 5 quarterbacks tonight. See action. Three for Akron. 2 for Duquesne.
Well, you want to get as much in the way of reps as you can before you get into your conference slate. Seeing both teams, mass substitutions, kind of a discombobulated exchange, but it was still a very productive run. Team shuffling guys in and out. Kudos to the fans who have stayed in there, and some of these players entering the game now getting some big time cheers.
Well, for the Akron fans that came out and enjoyed the beautiful weather tonight, they were rewarded with some outstanding play by their team.
Well, entering the game for the Zips, quarterback Johnny Brookhart, and that is a familiar name in Akron. J.D. Brookhart, former coach of the Zips, who is also helping on staff. And you can tell the sideline erupted with joy when he went out there on the football field. So that's a cool moment for the Akron Zip family. And we've seen our last play. It's over. It's a final now, 51-7. You got to give the Dukes some credit for getting on the board as the two Yinzers look for each other at midfield. Joe Moorhead and Jerry Schmidt, two guys synonymous with football out of the Pittsburgh region, and a nice moment there as both these teams finally get ready for conference play.
Yeah, and for Akron, it's key. Talked about a little bit of excitement built off the end of last year with those 2 wins, and in this year off to a rough start, but in the win column as they get ready to head into conference play, and a lot to feel good about with the way that they played tonight. Again, it was a team win, all 3 phases contributing to this W.
And over 500 yards of total offense. What a day it was. Very impressive for Akron, and they secure their first victory of the season before heading to Toledo next week. Meanwhile, the Dukes, they have got New Haven next week at home on the campus of Duquesne. For Classic Teleproductions and Mac Football on ESPN, I'm Anthony Lima. Craig Haubert, my partner today, as we say so long from Akron, Ohio. All Zips today on ESPN.